Okay, I need to know, do you guys think that energy healing for pets is BS, or do you think that it's actually legit? Because I have to be honest, I thought that reading this book would totally clear everything up for me, but now I have more questions than I had before. Hi everyone, and welcome back to April's Dog Book Club video. This month we read Energy Healing for Animals by Joan Ranquet. Joan is an animal communicator, and this book is an introduction to healing techniques so that you can live a happy and healthy life with your pet. Everything is made of energy, including us and the animals we love. Animals are so receptive to healing energy that they're often easier to work with than our fellow humans. In this engaging, do-it-yourself pet therapy resource, this renowned animal communicator offers a broad spectrum of holistic techniques that will empower you to help your beloved companions with behavior issues, pain relief, anxiety, and overall well-being. Joan did mention that she does energy healing and animal communication over the phone over long distances, which I'm not really sure how that works. And I did look on her website to see about maybe setting up something just for the sake of this video, but to be honest, it was ungodly expensive and I'm not convinced enough to spend that kind of money on it. To start with, I have mixed feelings about this book. I totally think that energy is a thing when it comes to animal and human relationships. Like so many times when we're dog training, we know that our energy affects the dogs. So if we are being calm, then the dog will be more calm. Like we know these things to be fact. So I went into this also thinking that there is some validity to it, but now I'm just more confused after reading it. I apologize in advance if there is some background noise because they're outside doing the lawn right now and there's nothing I can do about that. She does compare energy healing to physics, and that part actually made complete sense to me, so I'm gonna read it to you. Physics is the natural science of observing energy and matter in space and time. Unlike sciences that organize knowledge that is clearly observable and measurable, physics embraces the concept of electromagnetic fields, forces that may be seen or unseen, philosophy, and natural science. So that makes sense, right? I do also like that right in the beginning, she said that energy healing should not be used solely to treat your animal, but that you should also work with a vet or behaviorist, which I really liked that about it because to be honest, if she would have said that she only uses energy healing, then I might have stopped reading. As much as I think that this stuff is really cool and really interesting, I don't know if there's enough proof to back it up. And me personally, I don't know if I would trust the health and safety of my animal to something that doesn't have like a substance to it. I don't know, what do you guys think? Would you trust just this, or would you also want to use a vet and a behaviorist and anyone else who can help you to heal your pet? I thought honestly that there would be a lot more actual techniques in this book, but I found that it was mostly an introduction to all of them, which I probably could have Googled instead of actually telling me how to do these things. And then there was resources at the back of the book. I do think that the resources were a really good section of the book because it kind of tells me where I can go if I want to learn more. But I did feel like this book was sort of just an overview, and I probably could have skipped it, but I do think that her tone of voice is really lovely and she explained things in an easy to understand way. I thought that the first part of the book where she was just talking about energy healing in general was much better than the second half where she was talking about the actual techniques. Techniques that I thought were interesting and would actually like to learn a little bit more about. Tapping, which is basically acupuncture but without the needles. It's something that you can do at home with your dogs, and I think it's just tapping on different meridians and different places within the body. Clearly, I don't know enough about it yet, but it's something that I want to look more into. Herbal stuff, I really liked that section, and I've always been really interested in how to use plants for healing, so I want to learn more about that. Essential oils, I use these all the time for myself, and I would love to learn more about how to use them for dogs as well. Journaling, I've always thought that this was such a good thing to do. So just keeping a journal for your pet. And writing down everything, whether it is medical stuff, but also like personality traits or little things that are different. I just think that that's really beneficial because then the next time if you go to the vet, you can bring that with you and you know exactly when things started to change. So this is definitely something that I'm going to start doing with my dogs. Once again, I've been reminded that I need to start looking into a raw diet for my dogs. I know that this is a huge topic. The thing about it is that I'm a little bit afraid to switch over because I feel like I don't have enough information yet. And I really want to learn more, but I don't feel comfortable switching over until I'm fully 100% aware of all the different brands and how to actually do it. So if you guys do this or you know of any resources like articles, websites, people who know about it, anything like that, then please let me know because I want to know more. I really do. If this book did one thing for me, it was that I was so aware of my dog's energy throughout the course of the month. Like, it really made me realize that Boomer considers himself a protector of my house for sure. Like, whether we're out on a walk or there's a lizard in the backyard or a person in the backyard, he really sees it as his personal job to protect us. Whereas Demi is a lot more chill. I actually think she thinks her job is to protect the house from lizards, because if she sees a lizard outside, she's going after it. But it's really interesting just to see how they categorize themselves in the structure of the house. And I wasn't super aware of that before. It just made me more aware of their energies, which is something that I want to investigate further. So she said some really interesting things about our animals' personalities and how we can use that in order to live harmoniously in our house, which I do want to read a couple of quotes for you because I thought that they were really prominent and we should definitely pay attention to them. On page 19, she says, like attracts like. So I think this is really important to consider when we're adopting a dog and when we're going to go look at dogs. We should definitely be picking it based on personality type, like something that meshes with us, not just necessarily based on looks or on what we think would mesh with us, but something that actually is similar to our own personalities, but also knowing that things can alter and energies can change and we can get used to living harmoniously together. It's not like a done deal. Another good tip for rescues, which I need to read out because it was so good. Page 44, think of it like dating. You might want a boyfriend or a girlfriend, but you can't pick someone and glom onto that person right away. How would you feel if someone suddenly did that to you? So back off a bit when it comes to wrapping your arms around your new animals, which is so true. When you're bringing home a rescue, oftentimes we think that they're gonna immediately cuddle up to us and like jump in our bed and be super attached to us, but oftentimes that bonding takes a while. I know with my rescue dog Django, it took probably like a month for him to feel comfortable enough with us to jump up on the bed and try to cuddle. So it can take a little while, and it doesn't mean that they don't like you, it's just that they need time. On page 25, she mentions a neural pathway both within the body and within a house, so falling into those exact same patterns over and over again. We see this with humans, of course, you know, repeating bad relationships or bad habits. This happens all the time with humans, so of course it happens for animals as well. And I see this quite often with an animal who I'll be dog sitting. Maybe they have problems going to the bathroom inside at home, and then they come to my house and they no longer have that problem. And a lot of that probably has to do with the fact that their neural pathways in their home is telling them to go down that route, but it's not there in my house, so they don't have those behaviors. Page 47, we have to find a common language, which the language of logic is not, so that we can all understand. I've always thought this about training. A lot of people think that training is your dog obeying you or doing what you say, but I've never thought of it like this. I've always thought that training was a communication, a way for us and our animals to understand each other, because obviously they don't speak English and we're not as in tune with body language as they are, so it's kind of meeting in the middle between the two. It's our way of understanding each other because they don't have logic like we do. So do I think that energy healing for pets is BS? No, I actually think that there is quite a lot of validity to it, but I don't think that this book really dove into it enough for me. It is a good introduction if you need to know which area you want to start researching into, but I would have liked to see more, to be honest. If you know anything about this world already, then this book, I would say just skip it because it's kind of just an overview and you probably know a lot of this stuff already. But if you're a complete newbie like me, then it might be a good place to start if you need to kind of narrow down your search for what avenues you want to research. Thank you guys for joining me on this month's dog book club video. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram. Next month, we are going to be reading the book Tomorrow by Damien Dibben. I don't have the book with me right now to show you guys because I still need to order it, but it is a novel, so it'll be a nice little change from a lot of the books that we've been reading, a nice little break for all of us. We can just read a fun novel.